Hello, it's Rupert Wates here. I'm from London, England, and I'm in the music room. And this is called Happy to Be Here. It may be right or wrong, it may come rain or shine. It may be short or long, how sweet or bitter wine, I don't care no more, 'cause I'm happy to be here. The people come and go like the changing weather. And even though I know that nothing lasts forever, I don't care no more. I'm so happy to be here. And what's the reason for the wonder? I'm so glad to be alive. I saw no lightning and no thunder, I only looked into your eyes, oh my darling. So let the rain come down, let the sun shine on us. The happiness we found is never taken from us. We'll go on and on, being happy to be here. It may be right or wrong, it may come rain or shining. It may be short or long, and sweet or bitter wine, I don't care no more, 'cause I'm happy to be here. I don't care no more, I'm so happy to be here. Happy to be here with you. I'm happy to be here with you. Thank you.
Welcome to In the Music Room.
Thank you.
All the way from London, England, Mr. Rupert Wates.
Correct. got the pronunciation right, that's great. That doesn't happen all the time.
Well, we are happy to have you here,
Thank
just
you.
like you're happy to be here, which was your first song.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about that song.
That's one of my oldest songs, actually. I wrote it about 20 years ago now, when I was a very young man. I wrote it in London, and I was having to write a song a week for my publisher at that time, my music publisher.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was looking around for ideas from other people that I could steal, and in order to make the process easier. And I used to listen to a lot of a musician called John Martin, who's actually was raised in Scotland, but he was actually English by birth. And he had a wonderful sort of lot of feel-good songs, and it was just that I borrowed the mood of that song from him.
Yeah.
Happy to be here, happy to be in the moment, you know.
Well, I like happy songs.
Thank you. Well, me too.
Yeah.
I like happy songs.
Yeah. Now, your next song, the title of your next song is something that all you musicians and singer-songwriters out there can probably relate to, and that is Prisoner of the Open Road.
Mm-hmm. Prisoner of the Open Road. Well, again, that's one of my oldest songs, and it's, as you say, it's very much a portrait of the life of the musician. In a way, it's the opposite point of view to to happy to be here, because happy to be here is being in the moment and happy to be right here. The prisoner of the open road is someone who's got to get on that road and chase his dream and is never content to sit still. Because he's restless, he or she is restless, but also, of course, as a musician, you don't have any choice. You've got to get on the road if you want to earn a living. So, do you want me to play the song right now, or should we chat a bit more? Okay.
I'd love to hear it.
So this is a song called Prisoner of the Open Road. Also, this is one of my oldest songs. It's the life of the musician, Prisoner of the Open Road. We have touched the misty mountains, wider than the halo of a winter moon. We have heard the desert wanderers calling to their caravans from dune to dune. We have seen the eagles gliding, learned the secrets hiding in the sand and snow. And you know the path I'm riding, I was born to be the prisoner of the open road. We have slept beneath the starlight while the restless ocean whispered broken lullabies. I've woken to your heart's beat and a love as warm as morning glowing in your eyes. We have watched an empire tumble, climb the walls that crumble where the kings once strode. And you held me when I stumbled, blinded by the winding of the open road. Tasted milk and honey, drunk the juice of bitter berries from a secret vine. I put on veils of mourning and walked barefoot on the marble of forgotten shrines. And I will long to feel you with me, think of how you kissed me when the wild winds blow. And I pray that you'll forgive me, but I'm born to be the prisoner of the open road. And I will dream that you're beside me, waiting there to guide me where the fire once glowed. And I'm bound to keep on riding, I will always be the prisoner of the open road. And you know the path I'm riding, you and I are prisoners of the open road. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Very nice. Another song you have is After the Rains.
I do, yes. That's, again, is one of my oldest songs. I thought I'd start with my oldest songs. I've been a songwriter for most of my life, so some of these go back quite a long way. After the Rains, well, I wrote it in London, England, and as you know, we get a lot of rain in London, but
Yes.
it's also about other kinds of rain, and I like to dedicate the song to anybody who's had too much rain in their life, whether it's spiritual or literal rain. I believe you've had quite a lot of rain down here in the south.
We sure have.
And it's time that the rain should be gone.
That's right. Well, maybe your song will
Maybe,
make all this stop.
maybe. Sometimes it has the opposite effect and brings the rain right down on our heads. Let's see what happens. So this is about the moment when the rain is gone and things are just glittering and shining and things are full of hope. It's a very hopeful song. This is called After the Rains. After the Rains. eagle shakes his feathers dry after the rains are gone, makes his home the wide blue sky after the rains are gone, and gardeners waiting to amaze are open to the gentle rays of the day to come after the rains are gone. And we will walk in clearer lights after the rains are gone, and we will see with clearer sights after the rains are gone. And when the rain dries on our cheeks to lead us on our mountain peak, then we will hear our vision speak. After the rains are gone, far from the thunder's reach, we'll hear a different song, love calling each to each, and through the mist of joy and pain, the morning bird will sing again, although the night was long. And if no trace of us remains to say we've walked in love's domain, his will be our song after the rains are gone. The eagle shakes her feathers dry after the rains are gone, makes her home the clear blue sky after the rains are gone, after the rains are gone.
Excellent.
Thank you. Thanks, folks.
I like the way you played on that. I love the percussiveness in your
Thank you.
playing. Really, really sounded good, and I really like that song a lot.
Thank you. That one's been recorded by quite a few other artists, actually.
Yeah.
It's definitely one of my more popular
Well,
songs.
it's a gender neutral song, so a girl or a guy can sing it, which is great.
Nicely spotted, yeah. True.
Yeah. Your next song is called "Days of Mercy."
Days of Mercy. And this is based on a true story. One time I was writing songs based on true stories. I was doing a project which was an album of nothing but true story songs. So I was looking out for true stories that would be interesting and moving and memorable. And this one took place back in 1932 during the days of the Dust Bowl Depression here in Texas, and also in Kansas and Oklahoma. As you remember, at that time there were dust clouds, hurricanes, tornadoes on a daily basis in this part of the country, blotting out the sun for days at a time. It was also the height of the Great Financial Depression, the mother of all depressions, as it's sometimes called. And this tells the story of a poor family who made their way across America on foot during the days of the Dust Bowl. And it's really a hymn of thanks to the women of that period who kept the show on the road, literally. So here's to the women of America for saving us in that dark period of the Dust Bowl. This is my song based on a true story. This is called Days of Mercy. This song is fairly long. It's about 4.5 minutes, maybe even 5 minutes. So, but I have to tell the story. So this is called Days of Mercy. Daddy lost his job one day when he wouldn't take a cut in pay. He couldn't find another place, even one that paid him less. So he settled into his easy chair with his dog-eared magazines until the bank took back our house. And my mama only screamed when she was a little girl. She had a dream, she found a pearl hidden in the pocket of her pants, but the pants were full of holes. When she woke, the pearl was gone, and she was only 6 years old. Hold on tight, my mama said, and keep your eyes upon the sun. Put your faith in the road ahead. The days of mercy will surely come. Oh, when the world is blown apart in the eye of a hurricane, let strength and courage fill your hearts. Days of mercy will come again. So we sold up all we owned. We headed east in a touring car. We found a place with a plot of land down in windy Arkansas. My daddy worked on a lady's farm, but my mama heard it said he didn't work that lady's fields as much as he worked her bed. So she packed a cardboard case with a single change of clothes. I took the baby on her hip. I told us all to follow close, and we began the long walk home to the California coast. Hold on tight, my mama said, keep your eyes upon the sun, put your faith in the road ahead. The days of mercy will surely come. Oh, when the world is blown apart in the eye of a hurricane, let strength and the courage fill your hearts. Days of mercy will come again. When I fainted in the heat of the Oklahoma sun, my mama led me to a stream and dipped a cloth to bathe my head. We walked all through New Mexico, and in a migrant workers' camp I learned all there was to know about the kindness of the poor. Though the children dressed in rags, they gave us everything they had. Bags of sweets with ready smiles, fresh tortilla around the fire, in the huts of rusty iron. When the baby started crying, hold on tight, my mama said, keep your eyes upon the sun, put your faith in the road ahead. The days of mercy will surely come. When the world is blown apart in the eye of a hurricane, let strength and courage fill your hearts. Days of mercy will come again. So we finally reached L.A. Beside a lake in Lincoln Park. A man was standing all alone, throwing crumbs to feed the ducks. When you gonna take those children home? Asked the man, and my mama said, we just walked 2,000 miles. We'll make it yet with a little luck. And then the man just looked away. He said he guessed his turn had come. He pulled out $2 bills, enough to see us right, for a can of pork and beans and some shelter for the night. Hold on tight, my mama said, keep your eyes upon the sun, put your faith in the road ahead. The days of mercy will surely come. When the world is blown apart in the eye of a hurricane, let strength and courage fill your hearts. Days of mercy will come again. Hold on tight, my mama said, keep your eyes upon the sun, put your faith in the road ahead. Days of mercy will surely come. When the world is blown apart in the eye of a hurricane, let strength and courage fill your hearts. Days of mercy will come again. Hold on tight, my mama said, keep your eyes upon the sun, put your faith in the road ahead. Days of mercy will surely come. When the world is blown apart in the eye of a hurricane, let strength and courage fill your hearts. Days of mercy will come again. Thanks everybody.
Rupert, that is a lot of words.
That's a lot of words.
I am really impressed that you know it and didn't even forget a line, a word, or anything.
How do you know I didn't forget? Well, because not to seem
you,
that
either you have a great poker face or you played a perfect song.
I'm a keen poker player, so I got a pretty good poker face. Yeah, well, I've been doing that song for a few years now, so I just about remember the words.
Wow.
So exactly what poker do you play?
Actually, I don't play poker. I was only joking.
Okay.
So yeah, if you're thinking of getting me to sit down tonight, I'm afraid it won't happen.
No, I was actually, that was bluffing.
Right. No. I drive through enough casinos when I'm out west, you know, in Nevada and Utah. I drive through enough casinos.
Reno is born.
Reno, yeah. Oh, right.
He's
right.
named that because I was born there.
Did you do a lot of playing when you were in Reno?
I played till I was the happy age of 1.
They must be pretty good.
I've been in Texas.
I have never been gambling or to a casino. I think when I was about 8 years old, when I was at Piccadilly Circus in London, there were some slot machines in there, and I think I got to put some coins in them.
Was this after you went to the fish and chips and the curry? The curry? Just up
no, that was in 1999.
Right.
However, she can blow $25 though in front of like a steak and shake at one of those, coin operated.
Right.
I don't do that.
Sorry, we can have this discussion later.
I don't do that.
But there's too much for me. There's just too much temptation on the road for me to.
Okay. All right. Refocus. I'm amazed.
This is a little love song from my new CD, which is called Full Circle. Little love song. I'm amazed. I don't need the mountains, I don't need the trees, I don't need the splendor of the sun that shines on me. I don't need the treasures buried out at sea. I don't need the mighty temples of antiquity. I've traveled far, and all that I've seen left me cold, twisted and scarred. Nothing could move in my soul. But I'm amazed by your love when I gaze in your eyes. I hope it stays with me now and all the days of my life. Dreams claw at me in the night. They whisper of tragedies not yet come to light. We must hold on to these precious times when I'm here by your side and you are by mine. And out on the road, though you are far from me, everywhere I go, wonder is all that I see. Better than the mountains, better than the trees, better than the mighty temples of antiquity, better than the treasures buried out at sea, better than the splendor of the sun that shines on me. I'm amazed by your love when I gaze in your eyes. I hope it stays with me now and all the days of my life. Yes, I'm amazed by your love when I gaze in your eyes. I hope it stays with me now and all the days of my life. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. I'm amazed.
When you wrote a song of your own, was that in response to somebody, or
Well,
what brought that on?
Well, it was It was in response to some, but actually it was in response to something, because I was sitting in my house in Colorado and I noticed that a little bird had made its nest outside my window and it was singing away to itself so beautifully. I thought, wouldn't it be great if I could sing like that? And that got me thinking about, you know, songs of our own and how whether or not originality is really possible anymore.
Sing like nobody's listening.
Exactly. So that's what I do. I don't care if people are listening or not. Well, this is actually for the young kids who are searching for themselves, and I believe that our job is to find the song that we were born to sing, whether or not we're a musician, whether or not it's a real literal song or another kind of a song. We have to find the song that we were born to sing and sing it. So this is called a song of your own. A song of your own. A songbird with a voice full of joy and as small as my thumb has made her nest in my awning and sings to the rising sun. Each note of her wandering song is as fresh as the dew, like a gift that she makes to the morning, always surprising and new. She's no need of praise or gratitude, she's happy to sing alone. She's free of all learned attitudes, she's singing a song of her own. I have heard the sound of the rain, of the wind in the trees, and I sleep to the music the river makes as it flows to the sea. To the moon and the stars have a voice, if we only could hear. I would love to borrow their splendor and shine as loud and as clear. But they don't need my praise or my gratitude to light me the long way home. They're free of all learned attitudes, and they're singing a song of their own. Too many people will always be ready to make you march to their tune. You're willing to follow a rhythm wherever it takes you, but they won't give you room. They'll try to tell you who you are, they'll try to tell you who to be, and I'm gonna sing to my guitar. We'll find a way to be free. A girl child with a head full of dreams, and your sparrow-like bones. If I give you the gift of my song, will you swear that you'll make it your own? Then grown like a flower in bloom, you will dance and you'll laugh. Though the world may trample on beauty, you'll take a different path. And you won't need my praise or my gratitude, you'll be happy to sing alone. You won't need my learned attitudes, you'll be singing a song all of your own. It's a song of your own. Folks, Appreciate it.
Yes.
I'm not going to mention his name on here, but you remind me a lot of a friend that I grew up with and started writing songs with.
Who's that?
It was just a buddy of mine named Gary. And,
I've met him. He's a good guy.
there's a lot of your traits that are. He's one of those guys that kind of inspired me to write at one time.
All right.
You've got a song coming up that's the Ballad of a Brown-Eyed Girl, and
Yes.
I always thought that the very song, Brown-Eyed Girl came from. It was written over across just the, I guess, northwest of you.
In Ireland, you mean? Ireland?
Yeah. I think Van was probably in Dublin when he wrote it, but
Yeah.
he recorded the song in New York City, and I found it interesting. Yeah, that you're. Where was this song written?
Hang on a minute. Where was it? I wrote it on the road. I wrote it in my car, driving to New Mexico. I do a lot of riding in my car.
And there's a lot of New Mexico.
You do
right?
a lot of traveling, period.
I do. Well, I have to because that's how you make a living, as a musician. But yeah, I wrote it in the car, I was just thinking about people who are struggling to be recognised for what they do. People, not just musicians who are the obvious candidates in that respect, but everybody who does work which they feel is not appreciated. And I want to say to them that what matters is, how you feel about what you do, whether or not it makes you happy. The world can take care of itself, The world's opinion is not what finally counts, it's how we feel about what we do. And I imagined a story about a young girl who lived on a desert island, and even though nobody ever came to visit her there, she decided she was going to make her desert island a beautiful place. So this is called Ballad of a Brown-Eyed Girl. She was a young girl with eyes of brown, lived 3 days all alone on an island where the wind and the rain made a pitiful sound, and the sun and the sea endlessly pound the rocks on the shore and the white sand. On the first day she wrote with a stick in the sand words of welcome to all passing sailors. But as evening fell on the very same day, the tide coming in washed her words away, while the light of the moon grew paler. On the second day she stood at her window and sang a beautiful song to the morning, but no one was there on her island to hear, and the beautiful song that she sang disappeared in the sound of the rain that kept falling. On the third day she woke and she planted the seed of a rose that would bloom in her garden. But the sun beat down and it withered the rose, for she'd chosen a place where no river flows, in a land that never gives pardon. And though none ever read what she wrote in the sand, or heard what she sang from her window, and though the rose that she planted died in her hand, for 3 days the cruel world was a lovelier land, for the brown-eyed girl had made it so. She was a young girl with eyes of brown, lived 3 days all alone on an island where the wind and the rain make a pitiful sound, and the sun and the sea endlessly pound the rocks on the shore and the white sand. Thank you. Thanks, folks. Appreciate it.
Well, I'm sitting here, I'm looking at CDs over there.
Yes.
So it looks like you have 2 CDs. Can you tell everybody who's listening how they can obtain a CD if they'd like one?
That's a wonderful thing to do, and I'd love to do it. You can go to my website, which is www.rupertwatesmusic.com. Wates is spelled W-A-T-E-S, so it's rupertwatesmusic.com. And there's a page there called Buy Music, which is my favourite page on the whole website. And you can click on any of the CDs that are listed and order them from CD Baby. And I think it costs about $13, including postage. Shipping, I'm sorry. We call it postage in the UK. Shipping.
We know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about. Well, you're from the UK, or part from the UK.
Well, I mean, I've been around it. But
Right. Yeah. So $13, and they will be delivered to you usually within a week. My latest CD is called Full Circle. Recorded that in New York in December, and that's it was just reviewed today actually in a magazine called Lonesome Highway. It's got a few other reviews over the last couple of months. They all seem to like it, which is nice. I have another CD which is called The Lights of Paris, which was made in October of 2017. I released that one, I think. The Lights of Paris. That's more of a social and political album, more to do with the state of the world today as I see it. A bit gloomy sometimes. And I do actually have a third CD here, which was cunningly concealed behind some of my cards. This is called The Night Watchers, and that's my most requested song. When I do shows, I find that people almost always ask for the same half dozen songs, you know.
yeah.
So I put them all together on one CD and recorded them with a friend of mine who plays piano, and they're all there. That's called The Night Watchers. So you can get all those CDs on my website, or better still, you can come to one of my shows and you can get an autographed copy, which is even better.
They can't take you home with them, but they can take you home
Well,
with
you know,
them in song.
I never
by
say
getting
no.
that CD.
I never say no to a suitable offer. So never speak too soon. Musicians need places to stay. I will say that. We can't all live in our car.
That's true.
But some of them do. Some of us do.
Well, we went from the desert island and the ballad of Brown-Eyed Girl, and now we're going to California 1.
We
You
are.
can tell.
We're travelling around as much as any musician. Well, some friends of mine, a roots Americana duo called Rough and Tumble, very good friends of mine. They asked me to contribute a song to a CD which they are putting together. It's been an ongoing project for most of this year. I'm not sure when it'll come together, but they asked me to contribute a song to it. And the theme of the CD is the highways of America, which is a subject very familiar to every musician. And we were supposed to choose a highway and write a song about it. So I decided to write a song about one of my favourite highways, which is not 35E, although I do, of course, love to be in the Dallas area. But my second favourite highway is California 1. So this is called.
Is that the highway that you sit on for hours and hours
Yeah.
and don't move?
You know, it's like every highway in America. In other words, well, it depends what time you get there. I think, to be honest, number 5 is worse. When it comes to sitting in traffic, I think I've usually found that Highway 5 is the worst, which is the one that goes from Sacramento to California. to Los Angeles, but and goes all the way out the coast actually, as far as Seattle. But Highway 1 is a beautiful highway, but I agree that it does get clogged, certainly in certain times of the year. But in theory, anyway, it's a beautiful place to drive. So I wrote a song about it called California 1. And this is called California 1. Heading out on Highway 1, heading out, say, oh, come with me, just you and me. Down the coast she rolls and winds, while the California sunlight shines on the sea. I can feel the mountain breeze, hear it singing through the redwood trees. I can taste the sweet, sweet wine, see the ocean move to its own time. Waves are breaking in the sun, going where the endless rivers run. Oh, how they run, oh, California one. While we are standing still, time just advances over those blue, blue hills. Life surely dances. So much we lose and spill, wasting our chances to be free. Feel the mountain breeze, hear it singing through the redwood trees. I can taste that sweet, sweet wine, see the ocean move to its own time. I'm heading out on Highway 1, heading out if you'll only come. We've just begun on California, California. Appreciate that.
Very nice.
Yeah.
You're switching guitars.
Switching
Yeah,
guitars
that
yet
guitar,
again.
that
Goes
guitar
back to-
has an interesting mid to low range in it.
Yeah, that's a very low guitar. I call that my baritone guitar. It's not really a baritone, but it's
So you
tuned,
tune it
tuned
down.
very low, way low. Yeah, it's a bottom B there. So.
So you tuned that down that far? Wow.
Oh yeah, and it's worth it for.
Oh yeah.
Now
Yeah, I
you're
tuned
gonna
down.
Now
No,
you're
no,
gonna start
no,
changing all your guitars.
no.
I will mention that my new
I'm
CD.
down far enough.
Right. I will mention that my new CD, Full Circles, features that guitar tuning quite a lot. So if you like it the way it sounds, you'll like the CD. So this guitar is really good.
If
So-
you don't, then you know
where to
shop
go.
him for somebody else. No, he has other CDs too. That's the cool thing.
Yep.
Well, I'd like to know about Miss Burgoyne.
Miss Burgoyne and the Old Milwaukee. It again is based on a true story which I read in an anthology called True Tales of American Life. In the late 1940s there was a goods train, actually no, it was a passenger train that used to run from Pacific to Milwaukee. They called it the Old Milwaukee. And this lady I read about was obsessed with the train and the guys that worked on it. And she developed a kind of fantasy life, a romantic fantasy life, involving herself and the men that worked on the train. So I decided to write her story. And this is called Miss Burgoyne and the Old Milwaukee. Now the time lies heavy on my hands. I often walk beside the place where the old Milwaukee Railroad used to pass. The tracks all torn up long ago, a few planks are left from the old depot, scattered among the weeds and the prairie grass. And in my mind a figure still sits on a platform in gathering dusk, in the clothes they made before the First World War, waiting around for the train to arrive in a fury of steam and whistle blows. The conductor hold and open the carriage door. The conductor hold and open the carriage door. Her name was Edith, behind her back to her face she was Miss Burgoyne, and she lived with her parents in a modest bungalow, teaching piano to the neighborhood kids, 50 cents an hour to listen and smile as we stumbled through our scales and arpeggios. And whether it was her air of reserve, or her spinster's clothes, or her foreign name, or her college degree class of 1928. But whenever we ran out of games to play, we could always laugh at Miss Burgoyne and some of her stranger personality traits. Some of her stranger personality traits. In the summer of 35, as I recall, when the change began, and Edith first boarded the Milwaukee train. A 10-minute ride to the next stop on the line, and there she'd descend and come a rain or shine, she'd walk 5 miles home again. 3 times a week, each week for a year, she rode the train alone, but why? None of us could ever understand. But I heard it said by others who were there, the conductor was a handsome man, a brown-eyed and very handsome man. So the years flew by and Edith's parents died, and she sold up and moved away. To Iowa the rumor went with a married man, but others said she died alone in bitterness and poverty on a barren farm with intractable land. But in my mind a figure still sits on a platform in gathering dusk, in the clothes they made before the First World War, waiting around for the train to arrive in a fury of steam and whistle blows, the conductor holding open the carriage door, the conductor holding open the carriage door. Thanks everybody.
You know, I find it interesting how much in your music that we've heard tonight that you write about America.
Oh yeah.
I realize that you live here now and all that, and certainly. But we have a friend named Sophia Talbot who's also.
Oh yes, I met her.
You know Sophia?
Well, I've never met her, but I know she's Swedish, right?
Swedish, but she also writes beautifully about America.
She doesn't live here, does she? I think she tours.
She lives in Hamburg, if I remember right.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Then she travels over here about 6 months a year,
Yeah.
and Jonas.
She does a lot of the same gigs that I do, particularly down in Texas. I noticed she played the old firehouse in Easy.
Y'all would be an interesting mix together,
Right.
Because I would find your perspective of America to be a little eye-opening for some Americans to wake up and see what, the things that we may overlook. You guys really appreciate.
Yeah, because I'm still an outsider. Obviously I've been here for 12 years, but I'm still on the outside.
Well, then you ought to move to Texas, and you wouldn't feel that way in about 15 minutes.
That's right.
Well, I stayed in America for a reason, which is one of the reasons, well, for many reasons, but one of the reasons is that everybody here has been so kind to me. And particularly in the South. I often come to the South, and I know that Texas is in the South, but it's not the South, because Texas is its own entity, But everybody in Texas has been very.
Said thank you.
Everybody, yeah, right. It's the Lone Star State. Everybody here has been very, very kind to me and very welcoming. And I'm sure you're right that I would be made to feel part of things. But as a writer and a singer-songwriter, you have to stay on the edge to a degree, because you've got to, in order to see, comment on a situation, you've got to be outside it to a degree.
Absolutely.
And I did quite a lot of journalism when I lived in Paris, actually, I worked as a journalist for a while, and I developed a journalist's mindset, and every journalist has to be outside the event that he or she is talking about.
Yeah, a good journalist.
A good journalist, absolutely.
Too many of them now
partisan.
try to be there, try to be the story.
I know. Well, they become celebrities in themselves.
Yeah,
But
they think.
so you've got to tell the story. In order to do that, you've got to be outside it, and that's a very useful skill for a songwriter, because songwriters are storytellers. So that. But I've always been fascinated by American history, and the American history of the last 100 years. American history of the last 100 years really is the story of the world, really, because what happened in America in the last 100 years very much dictated what went on in the rest of the world. So
It affected everybody.
yeah, so it feels very, very close to my own life, because it is very close to my own life. It has a very, very direct bearing on my life, even though I didn't live in America.
And you've got a song that may be perfectly fitting that you're going to take us out of the show with, called Prayer.
Yes.
And I really look forward to hearing that, because Helen's got a song called When I Pray that touches people, and I feel like this one's probably going to be one of those songs.
I hope so. So I didn't know you were a songwriter yourself.
Yes.
All right. There's so many songwriters in the room. I wrote this for some friends of mine who were going through a hard time, and actually the idea of this particular song was that I wanted to do it with a lot of different singers, and everybody would take a line here and there, so it would be like passing the cup, But obviously I'm on my own tonight, so you'll have to imagine that I'm singing, with 50 different voices.
And passing a cup.
And passing the cup.
Yes.
So this is called Prayer, and this goes out for everybody tonight who doesn't have a prayer. Prayer. Here's to you and here's to me. Here's to all we've ever seen. To all the come and all that's been. Here's to all we've ever shared. To our fathers and to our heirs. To all people everywhere. When they haven't got a prayer. Here's to the young and here's to the old, to the body and to the soul, to all whose stories are still untold. Here's to the lightness and here's to the weight, and to the crooked and to the straight, to all who die too soon or were born too late. Here's to our enemies and here's to our friends, to the river that never ends. Here's to the sinners and to the born again. Here's to the black and here's to the white, to the left and to the right. Here's to the evening and here's to the morning light, coming into sight. And to the rich and to the poor, here's to the sea and here's to the shore. Here's to all people everywhere. When they haven't got a prayer, 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 when they haven't got a prayer. Here's to the cop and here's to the priest, to the west and to the east. Here's to all they bring to the feast. Here's to the lion and here's to the lamb. Here's to the beast and the heart of man. Here's to the house on rock and the house on sand. Here's to the heart and to the head, to the living and to the dead. Here's to the joy and to the tears we shed. Here's to the first and here's to the last, to the future and to the past. Here's to all who've ever raised their glass. Anytime we asked, to the moon and to the sun, to all we've lost and all we've won. Here's to all people everywhere. When you haven't got a prayer, 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 when you haven't got a prayer. Thanks, folks.
That was beautifully written.
Thank you.
You know, Helen, is very fitting that Rupert Wates is with us this evening.
It is, darling.
You know, I like this. I like this.
Yes.
We have to have him back.
Absolutely.
I'll be delighted to come back.
We have to have him back.
I'll be back in February if you're interested in next year. Back in Texas, that is. February.
Well, actually, that's a good thing to know.
Yeah, it is. That
I'm
is.
booking and planning the shows right now.
I'm sure you are. Yeah, when I get home from this tour, I'm going to start booking. You know, I've got.
Hey, man, thanks for coming too, by the way.
Yes,
Thank
it's
you.
just been a pleasure having
Thank
you
you.
here this
Thank you.
evening.
Thank you.
I also
Nice to be
want to thank our Facebook audience for tuning in.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you to Jean Moore and Bruce Davis for the photos that they're going to get
And
out
we missed
for
Miss
us.
Barbara tonight.
I know.
I'm gonna
Barbara,
vet them
you get
very
better. And Randy, Reno, thank you for all the work you're doing back in the engineering
Yeah,
booth.
thanks, Reno.
And everybody out there, keep tuning in. You are in the music room.